Hey folks, welcome back. This is Jay from JayTalk. And of course, we got our ever-loving, empathetic co-host, Mr. Nick from the Nick Job.
I don't know, man. I was listening to podcasts this weekend, and every time I hear that, it cracks me up. I don't know why. It's just funny.
What? Hear what? Oh, that wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It cracks me up every time I do it. It might be dorky. It might be whatever. I don't care. It's funny.
No, it is funny. I love it. I love it.
Me laugh. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's our podcast. We can do whatever we want. As long as it makes us laugh, we're good.
There you go.
Yeah. Who cares about the fans? No, I'm just kidding.
Talk about.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm just teasing, folks. I really am. So we do this for you. It's good for us too. Therapy sessions, I guess, for free.
Oh, see, yeah, because I listened to a couple of them this weekend on the way home from Bandera, and I listened to myself talk.
Okay.
After the first couple, I was listening to the latest one, and I was doing that kind of stuff, hesitating, and I felt like I was like going the long way to get to the point, stuff like that. I mean, we want to put an hour on it, but I didn't want to do it that way.
Yeah.
Listening to myself talk helps me, understand what I need to say and how I need to say it and how I need to think, stuff like that. So I more or less did the critiquing of myself,
right,
listening to the podcast. Now, I've got tons of recordings of me announcing ski shows, but it's repetitive.
Yes.
And it's the same thing, unless somebody falls and you have to ad lib, but you already have all that stuff written down.
Yes.
So,
yeah. You know what's going to be
a wet spot when they were skiing, silly stuff like that. Really
right.
Funny.
That's funny. That's good.
Yeah.
But see, I mean, that's, you're right. It's so would you say you're better in these later episodes than you were in the beginning?
See, I don't think so.
Really?
I think I was relaxed and kicked back in the beginning.
Okay.
I was excited about it. And then when we started having to, we were excited about talking about online dating because that was our first couple, 3 or 4 podcasts, right?
Yes.
And I was really focused on that. And then we started changing and doing some different stuff. So I think, like, even now, I hesitate to think for a second, and then I say what I'm going to say. And you saw how I just did that. And then I say what I got to say. I'm hesitating, like repeating the same thing. I don't want to ever be the guy that goes, well, I was going to, and then I went to, and then, we need to take, and then I drives me insane. And you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I couldn't help but laugh at that one. That was funny. That was great.
After meeting after meeting at the company we worked for. And that's how our bosses talk.
Really?
We got to the point. Yes. We got to the point where for the hour and a half, however long the meeting lasts, there's 20 something plus people in the meeting, and they're all Zoom meetings, but they would say that. So I started counting them. And one meeting ran over just a little over an hour, and they said the word over 400 times.
Really? Are you serious?
And I could not tell you what the meeting was about.
Okay, so I got a question. Do we do it that much?
See, we don't.
Really?
You and I don't do and we don't fill dead spaces.
Oh, no.
I think these people are doing when they're talking, when they're thinking, you and I stop. We'll go, well, what I was thinking about the other day, and then we slow our speech down and spread our words out a little bit and slow our thought process is going crazy, and we're trying to articulate what we're saying. When we hit that dead spot, we don't fill it with the Like when I hit a dead spot, I don't want to go, we don't do that. Neither one of us do that.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you were critiquing mine as well. I appreciate it. It's hard for me to listen to myself. I will tell you that 100%. It is really hard listening to myself. I have tried to listen to the podcast, and it is just hard hearing my own voice coming across.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's just something that's kind of weird. Now, I will say this. For the most part, yeah, you say we tend to try to articulate our feelings, our emotions, our descriptions, whatever. We do a pretty good job of it, I think.
Yes,
But
I do too.
I think we're a little more prepared. Most of the time, we have a general idea what our subject of our podcast is. And if it's just me and you, we feed off of each other really well. And that is a very key point. And I mean, everybody said it. I hope most of our fans would agree that we have a really great camaraderie.
Yes.
You know, and it really feeds off of that. So I hope to continue that way, but I always kind of worried about that, you know, so, you know, and it's funny, but I guess whenever we talk like friends. And when you talk like friends, you don't do that to your friends because you're not worried about what you're talking about.
And you're honest.
Yeah, and you're honest. There's a key point. You know,
well, we are.
Yeah. You know, so maybe the people in your meetings, maybe they don't know the subject as much as they want to, but they want to hear their own voice.
That's exactly right. Man, did you hit the nail right on the head?
Sorry.
They do. They say bloviate. You know, they just love to hear the sound of their voice.
Yeah.
I don't like to hear the sound of my voice, but I want to make it sound better for the people that are listening.
Yes.
So they don't get confused, and I don't tell stories, and I'm not jumping from one corner to another, you know, instead of telling the story the way it went and them going, oh man, that's funny, or I get it, or whatever.
Right. Instead
of going, wait a minute, he started off talking about, you know, this thing, and then he went over to this thing, and he never went back to that thing, you know.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I get focused on. That's when we both start slowing down, and our brains are going a mile a second trying to figure out what we're going to say next so that we're saying it right, so that it's understandable.
Yeah, and I think that's the key is we want to make it understandable for our friends. And there I said it.
That's the first time.
Well, no. I did that without purpose, actually. So, you know.
All right, everybody, get your pencils and pens out and get a piece of paper. Every time we say the word throw it down and send us an email going, you guys are idiots.
Exactly. But it's funny that you say that. I would agree. We have a tendency, we want to articulate and we want it to make it entertaining. We want to make it understandable. You know, and I think that's the key point. So, like there, I'm trying to articulate what I'm trying to come across to the people with. I didn't go, we want to, no, it's just like, okay, stop for a second, articulate your words, and then, you know, say it.
Right.
So, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Trust me, I'm far from it. Because if I was perfect, I wouldn't be single. Anyway, sorry.
Or we wouldn't be sitting on this podcast. We'd be lots richer.
Yes, exactly. There you go. That's what you think. Yeah, I know. No, I always loved the line of, you know, hey, if I was this, I wouldn't be single. People look at me like, really? Will you shut up? You know, and it's like, dude, y'all have no idea. I am proud of who I am. I know who I am. That's what makes everything even more funny. I mean, come on. I make jokes about it all the time. I'm the old fat white guy. And everybody's just like, you're not fat. Okay, what about the old and white? Well, you know, white I can't control, but, you know, and old technically I can't either.
You can't either.
Yeah, so.
I'm going to throw one on top of that. I'm the old, fat, white, bald guy.
Oh, yeah. Bald guy. Okay.
On that caveat.
There you go.
We're good.
Yeah. I have a little bit of a bald spot, you know.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. You still got that salt and pepper thing going. Yeah.
I know. I'm teasing you, man. It's all good.
They're beating your door down and you're still single. I don't get it.
There aren't women beating my door down. What the hell?
I can hear. Listen, people, listen real close. You can hear somebody knocking on the door right now. Seriously. I didn't do that, by the way. That was the dog.
That was the dog. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm surprised you're not barking right now because I knocked.
Right? But see, it's interesting talking about the things that we're talking about and how we want to articulate ourselves and how we do this. I have learned a lot about myself just doing this podcast.
That's good.
I mean, a lot about my empathic behavior. I mean, some of it good, some of it bad.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're not perfect. We know we have some. I was having an interesting conversation earlier, and somebody made a comment about knowing all your secrets. And I said, well, if you listen to my podcast, for the most part, my closet is still personal. It's still closed. But every once in a while, the skeletons come out on the podcast. So,
yeah, I'm sure we're going to get in trouble at some point from somebody who listens to the podcast that we might have talked about.
Exactly. So I did tell Penny, by the way, that we mentioned her in the last podcast. She was embarrassed as hell, but she laughed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
not like we have pictures of her and tell her life story or anything silly, about
no,
her.
No. Yeah. Not like we talk about voyeurism or anything like that, Yeah. So no, it's funny as hell. So, but other than that, yeah. So today I didn't really have a topic. I actually wanted to just do a kind of shoot the shit episode,
Yeah.
And just kind of a train of thought and let people hear us kind of what's going on in our lives, and just it doesn't have to be a long episode. It can just be a short one, but just be who
Maybe
we
there's
are.
somebody out there that's listening to our podcast that can send me an email and say, hey, I can help you channel your empathic process.
Oh, that would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Very interesting.
Now, so
everybody gives me a hard time for watching TikTok all the time, and it does take up a lot of your day, but they call it a niche. The niche that I'm in, I listen to a lot of
therapists, psychologists,
psychiatrists. I listen to a bunch of people that are self-aware narcissists. People that have been tested positive for extreme ADHD, for bipolar disorder, and all those behaviors have become extremely interesting to me to understand more about their thought process, because when I'm around people, for example, that have extreme ADHD, I feel so uncomfortable because of my empathic behavior. I'm feeling whatever they're going through.
Right.
They're sad. My sadness increases by like 10%.
Right.
Or if they're really happy, I'm getting 10% more than they are. So it's an extreme up and down, and I'm not normally an extreme person.
Right.
And I never knew that. I never thought of it.
Right.
So when I'm around people that are, mild, kind of middle of the road, and they don't have it. Yeah, I know. They don't have extreme lows and extreme highs.
Yeah.
Those are the people I feel most comfortable around.
Right.
The thing that makes it bad about that I didn't know is that narcissists don't have any feelings. So it's no wonder I've surrounded myself by narcissists, because I don't feel anything from them, good or bad.
Oh, so it keeps you you see more even keel.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. Never thought of it that way.
Probably feel my own emotions and my own in my own deal, and not theirs.
That's scary, though.
When I get around people that are highly emotional, or they have, some chemical imbalance in their body, like ADHD or bipolar, stuff like that, I feel them. And I didn't know that.
Right. So you get that way around me?
Well, you're a narcissist, so no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what the hell?
Oh, you and I have been friends for 30 years. I've never felt an extreme from you.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter whether it's a friendship, family, coworker, just somebody I just met. I didn't know that I was doing that, or that I can do that.
Right. Well, and I'm pretty. Go ahead.
sensitive. I didn't know I was that sensitive to the energy around me. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
No. It's a good analogy. Yeah.
It scares the shit out of me.
But knowing is half the battle.
Now I need to learn how to channel that.
Yes. Now you need to have it and control it maybe a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, and I was going to say, I'm a pretty even keel, laid back kind of person. And I don't generally get too emotional. And the only time I think on the podcast that I got too emotional was, of course, when we did the episode 6 about Andrew's story. And I knew you could feel that one. You know, I mean, anyone that can't feel that one after you listen to that episode, I'm sorry, go get your heart checked, because that was real.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
It took me, people, if you didn't know, it took me 3 days. I didn't sleep for 3 days. I literally didn't sleep for 3 days after the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of the emotion that was coming from you.
Oh, okay.
I felt that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard.
I just lost it with alcohol, but that didn't work.
I know. That's a fair point, man. But you know, that's, and you know, a lot of people have said that. They said it's very very impactful. It was one of those situations that it was hard to listen to, but you couldn't turn it off.
Right.
Yeah, everyone said that. It's really been a good episode. Hard to listen to, but for a lot of people, it was really good to hear, get a really good background, and understand what's going on and the thoughts of people who are affected. So
yes, and it has worked, by the way, for everybody out there. That podcast has saved a life.
Oh yeah, at least one. We know for sure. Yes. So it's been great, you know. So other than that, so you're back at work.
Yes. How can you be excited but not excited about work? I was really getting good at learning how to retire. You know, because once you're not working, you spend more money.
Yes.
Because you go, I just need to run to Home Depot, or I need to run to the store. I need to, I need to go pick this little thing. And you can't do that because you're going to end up spending more money than you're making. You know, even if you're the same amount of money's coming in, but now you have that extra 40 or 50 hours off.
Yes.
So it's hard to say, oh, I'm just going to run up to Bandera. Well, you can't just run up to Bandera, you know, $100 worth of gas and food and, you know, gas for the motorcycle. And, oh, I might have had to buy a shirt or two or, you know, a couple of beers or whatever. So that stuff adds up. But I learned how to be able to function during the day without spending a lot of money.
That's good. That's really good, man. So you're prepared for retirement. Yeah. I was about to say, you are. Sorry.
My finances aren't ready for me, but I'm ready.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of us are in that situation, man. I think we're, so I would, at this point, I'm looking at my retirement and I'm thinking 70.
Yeah. About right. Now, if one of us wins the lotto, what's the Powerball? Or one of them is at 300-something million?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The other one's at like 140 or something like that.
Yeah. So you want me to put like maybe 10 million in a nice retirement fund and transfer it to you?
All I need.
Okay.
You can keep the other 300. All I need is that 6 million. But see, that's not the way that would work, though, Jay.
I know it's not, but it's funny.
Let's say I won $300 million.
Yes.
I would hire you as my podcast director for $300,000 a year.
Right.
But I'd have to also buy you a brand new vehicle every year. I'd have to send you to Bora Bora for a week on vacation. You know, so those are the perks of, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Those are just numbers that you're throwing out, but it will be, you know, health insurance, all that stuff will be put in, taxes will be taken out. You'll have to hire an accountant to do all that. Or you could just give somebody $9,999 a month for the rest of their lives.
Oh, there you go. Set it up as an auto deposit.
Could you quit your job and live on $10,000 a month?
Oh yeah, it's easy.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
Oh well, me and you live different lifestyles.
Yes, we do. I have these holes in my pocket. Every time I put money in, it just falls right out, and I can't get it.
So, could my cost of living increase to that amount? I'm sure if it was there, yes, it would. But right now, no, I'm pretty good.
See, that's what I'm thinking. So whatever we're making now, let's just round it out to $100,000 a year, right?
Yeah.
We're making $100,000 now. If we were not working at all, I think we'd need to make double that because we're going to be spending more.
Yes, because we're going to be out and about, and we're not. Yes,
right.
I won't disagree with you
on
there.
A high game hunting trip and get me a
Yes,
and that costs $3,000 or $4,000, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm going to want to do the things that I haven't been able to do over the last however many years is.
Yeah, join a gym. Because now I got more time to go hang out at the gym.
No.
What?
No. I was forced to do PT. It was the best thing because my arm's in better shape than it ever has been in the last 10 years.
Right.
I won't sign up for a gym because I won't motivate myself to go. I skied for 20 years. I worked out every day. I don't want to do that no more. I know it doesn't work that way. My body should stay fit for the rest of my life as hard as I worked out for 20 years.
Exactly. No, I actually enjoyed the gym, but I only joined the, there you go, I said I enjoyed the Lifetime whenever I went. Have you ever been to Lifetime?
No. What is that?
So it's the name of a gym. They have one right here down the street from me. It's a little expensive, but it has indoor rock climbing, 2 indoor pools, 2 indoor hot tubs, and so it's really kind of nice, to be honest with you.
Bar?
Huh?
Does it have a bar, like a juice bar?
Yes, it has a juice bar, and it has food, and then they actually have a place where you can get your mani-pedi, haircut, all that stuff.
That sounds pretty fun.
It was nice. I liked it because of the indoor pool. So you go upstairs, you do your 5-minute cardio, you go over to the weights, you lift weights, and then from there I'd go downstairs, switch into my swimsuit, and I'd swim a lot of laps. So I'd stay in the pool for about an hour.
Wow.
And I'd swim until I was tired, I'd rest, swim till I was tired, rest. And then I'd get out of the pool and I'd go over to the hot tub and sit in the hot tub for 15 minutes and then get out of the hot tub, and I may or may not do the sauna. Depends on. And so the sauna was kind of nice because it was a co-ed sauna,
There you have it.
Yeah, see?
Go to the juice bar and drink you a kale soda.
What is it? The acai berry smoothie. That's what I liked.
With a shot of vodka.
Not with a vodka.
Maybe no calories. Vodka.
Maybe some blueberry mead.
There you go. See, there's calories in blueberry mead, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, calories, but see, the funny thing is when I was part of the gym, I did every Saturday morning 3.5 hours of a workout.
Wow.
And I enjoyed it. I felt so good the rest of the weekend.
Until you work Monday?
Yes, till I went to work Monday.
Whoops. Sorry, I didn't mean to come into office this morning in my bathing suit. My bad.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah, my gut's hanging out. But you know what? I feel good. No, I was kidding.
See, I would have done a Speedo, so you don't want me in the swimming pool.
Yeah, no.
Not at this day and age.
Let's not talk about let's not talk about Speedos. I remember the worst Speedo comment that I ever heard. And I'm going to tell on somebody here on the podcast.
It ain't me.
No, it ain't you.
Thank God.
Yeah, so I remember we're sitting in the hallway. You'll probably remember this when I say it. We're talking to Jeff, one of the Jeff brothers, or the Jeff twins.
Oh, yeah, the Jeff twins, yeah.
Yeah. Talking to Jeff. And he makes a comment about a certain manager inviting them, his group over for a pool party. And a certain manager was in a Speedo.
Really? I've never heard that.
Yeah. Guess who the manager was?
That's I don't know because I never heard that.
Mr.
Please don't tell me his name was Bob.
Mr. Moss.
Uh-uh.
And I was like, I looked up at him and I'm like, why did you say that? He said, what? I said, dude, now I got this visual of freaking Bob in a Speedo. No offense, but back then that wasn't a pretty sight. I don't know what he looks like now.
Hey, now he's been walking around the building for lunch.
Okay.
He's probably dropped 125 pounds.
Ooh, good for him. Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's really doing good. And he's a big man. He's 6 foot.
Yeah, he is.
But he got pretty heavy there for a while, but
yeah.
He's been dropping it. He'll walk around the building 4 or 5 times.
Yes, but just no offense. I just didn't want to see him in a Speedo. Not in my head either.
Okay, we're going to cut this podcast short because both of us are about to. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. Come on now.
No hurling.
No hurling. Come on. So, okay. We're going to cut over to a little bit.
Okay.
So, I just kind of wanted to touch base on this a little bit. We've talked about growth over the podcast. And so I recently, of course, stopped dating someone. And, I'm not going to talk about her, or I'm not going to talk about the reasons why we broke up. That's, between me and her. And she asked me to kind of keep that private. She does still listen to the podcast. So hello, you know who you are. But I did want to talk about what I learned. So this was very interesting. I discovered some things about myself that I guess I was more worried about over the years, but I recently kind of feel good about. So it was very interesting. I'm going to read some things off my phone, by the way, so give me a second. I want to bring them up. But I think the one thing that I learned more than anything is even after Andrew, I know now that I have the capacity for love. And that, I was worried that I was going to have a problem, ever loving someone or ever making an attachment to someone that was sincere. And so that was an interesting kind of learning experience. It didn't work out. And it happens. We were at different stages in our life. So, it's no big deal. There's no hard feelings. We actually, departed on good terms. So, but I just, I learned some things. So let me bring up this. I was going to bring up this. It was very interesting. Okay, where is this? Here we go. So one of the things I actually asked, and I actually asked her, I was like, hey, can you give me an advice for my match profile? This is pretty fun. So I'm asking a girl for advice because, why not? I'm a guy.
Right.
I don't think of things that way. So
smart. They're going to give you their opinion.
Yes. Well, and we're no longer dating, so she's going to be honest with me. She knows who I am. So it was kind of an interesting one. So I haven't told Nick these, by the way. I don't think so. Have I?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So
He said, oh, she's going to sabotage your profile. Maybe some girl might do that. I don't know if she would, because I really like her.
Yeah. No, she's a good person, and we're going to be friends. We're going to remain friends. So, I'm one of the first guys that her kid actually liked, and we never even met. So, it was kind of interesting. But I'm going to share a couple things. This is just some notes from her. So I thought this was interesting. This tells me a little bit about myself, that things I didn't think about whenever you're doing a profile. Right. So, okay. So we're going to, one of the things I talk about on my profile is, Andrew's death 4 years ago, certain events trigger emotions, things of that nature. And then, of course, I put at the end of that, if you can't handle that, don't waste my time, because it's, I'm just trying to be upfront. It's, right. I'm going to have these emotions. You need to either be ready to deal with it or come on, just pass me by, hit left. I don't care. Kind of a. And she said that kind of sounds a little harsh.
I would agree with her.
Yes, I know. So
because it's while you're thinking of that, it's just like we got an email from a listener, and we've been kind of emailing back and forth, and she has actually done blogs. And hold your thought process where you are, Jay. She'd been doing some blogs, and she went out with a guy that said he was 6 foot tall. And when she met him for the first time, he couldn't have been 5'2". He's like, oh, it must have been a typo or something like that. So he purposely
misled her. Yes.
Because he's short. I would never do that.
Yeah.
And I would never do something like that. I would go as emotional as I can in my profile, and then I would tell them the more harsher stories when we got to a place where we could communicate, if we couldn't.
Right.
There you go. Go ahead. I wanted to say that.
No, you're good. So this is actually at the top of my profile. The whole Andrew thing is at the top of my profile. And she said, I think this is very important, but I would consider putting this more towards the end and not the very first thing someone reads. Okay. Not bad advice. Not a big deal. So this is the funny one. I talk about doing a podcast. I talk about doing JayTalk. And I tell people, hey, if you want to find out who I am, what kind of crazy stuff do you want to know about me? Sometimes it helps because you know what? People have listened to the podcast. And I actually had a lady one time come back and she listened to the podcast and she said, you don't like smokers and I smoke. And I'm like, yeah, it wasn't on her profile. So I no, she's like, we probably aren't a good match. And I'm like, yeah, we're not. Thanks for being honest. So, it saved me a lot of trouble. But she actually makes the comment. She says, my opinion here. So her opinion is I shouldn't tell people to go listen to JayTalk before our first meeting. So.
And what was her reasoning? Why?
Because of this stuff that we discuss in JayTalk can maybe be a little intimidating to people. Sort of like the crazy first dates. It's crazy. So
yeah, but it's always about their being crazy, not us. We're not crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly.
We don't do anything wrong. We're perfect.
Yeah, women are crazy, men are stupid. Okay. No. But I find that interesting. She doesn't think I should. And my argument to her was, you know what? The person's going to have to accept me for who I am. It doesn't hurt for them to find out in the beginning. Yeah. That's my attitude. Good, bad, ugly. It is what it is.
But I would rather tickle them on the nose with a feather than to beat them over the head with a bat.
Oh, I know. But see, the funny thing is, she made that comment, yet she went out with me. So, obviously it didn't scare her enough, So, so there's nothing really. I think back to the podcast that we've been doing, man. And I don't know of anything, barring one thing, there's been nothing that I'm embarrassed about.
Well, if it's only one, then,
Yeah.
I probably have 10 or 15 embarrassing moments on the podcast.
Oh, come on. No, come on. I have no regrets. I have no regrets on anything that we've said in the podcast.
Oh, I don't either.
Yeah.
I have some regrets to think that I've done that I've talked about.
Yeah. That's different. Okay. That's a little different. But part of the podcast is you were learning from those regrets, those mistakes.
Yes.
And so that's a little different in my opinion. But I've had no regrets on our podcast. I really haven't. I'm happy with the content we're bringing. I mean, not everybody's going to like it. Some of the content's not appropriate for my mom, but some of the content is not going to appeal to other people. There's some people that like the Bitcoin, some people don't. There's some people that like the suicide episodes. There are some people that don't.
Right.
That's the beauty of our podcast is we are talking about real people, real lives, in real situations. Those appeal to everyone. Not,
Yes.
and so it may be different on who they are, but I mean, it appeals to a larger crowd. So anyway, here's the rest of what she said. I would suggest waiting till you start talking with someone before mentioning this. Maybe mention that you do a podcast, but not the title yet. If you connect, then share. So,
Makes sense.
it's not a fair point.
I mean, she does have a fair point.
She does have a fair point. I won't disagree with that. I am who I am. So, the other thing she mentioned, so I talk about, my introvert, some of my likes, Renfest, TV, stuff like that. She said you could mention your wide variety taste in music and all things tech. So, of course, because she came to the house and she was like, oh my gosh, this is a man cave. 100% inside and out. So, there you go, women. There you go. You've heard it here first. Yes. So, but it was funny. She made fun of my TVs. She's like, what's the deal with men and big TVs? And I'm like, we watch TV. I was like, we want it to be on the largest thing we can see it on. I mean, if you're going to watch football, you're going to watch it on a big TV. Nobody wants to watch football on a little 25-inch TV. No offense. Just, no.
Not going to work.
No. So she watches Hallmark. Yeah, the stories are all the same. You know what? You don't have to see it. All you have to do is hear it. You know exactly what's going on. So
you can close your eyes and still understand what's going on TV.
Exactly. You don't need a big TV. Sorry, folks. Yeah, sorry, women, but it's the truth. You know it is.
No, you don't play. I'll watch Hallmark, and I'm not bashful at all. If I watch one of those shows and it's a little sad, you'll look over and I'll have tears running down my face. And I'm not bashful about that at all.
Oh, there you go, man.
I've had a couple of ladies that I was dating. They're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, you don't get to ball over there and snorting and sniffling and blowing your nose. And I'm supposed to be okay with it. This is the part of the empath where I'm telling you, I'm feeling the emotion of what's going on the TV.
Right.
And I'm losing it.
I know. Exactly.
I mean, I'm like losing it.
See, the funny thing is I am a little different. I get drawn into a show. And so it's almost like I'm a part of the show. I can feel the emotions of the show. 100%. I mean, it's just, I've watched I've been watching NCIS, a little bit of binge watching on Netflix because I've been way far behind. And there's been a couple of really tough episodes about marriage, about suicide, about kids. It's been really tough on me. So, part of the reason why I went and saw my son this weekend. Perspective. People don't always understand that. Why does your son give you perspective? Well, you know what? Just remember, we're not promised tomorrow. Don't wait till tomorrow when you can tell someone how you feel today. And I think that's part of the problem. One of the things I learned about myself with this latest relationship is I'm very straightforward. I don't have time to waste. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I mean, I know that sounds horrible, but yeah, life's too short.
And I agree with that because a lot of us tend to, when we meet somebody, we start talking to them. We have a decent chemistry. There might be a couple of small little red flags. Oh, I can ignore those. Those don't bother me that bad. And then they become prominent.
Yes.
They start becoming more and more. And then I always joked that I will never marry somebody for two things. I will never get married without sleeping with them first or being with them for at least 2 years.
Right.
Because after a certain amount of time, now they're saying, a lot of the psychologists are saying within 3 to 6 months, the person should be who they're going to be for the rest of their life. And so maybe I can cut my,
time down a little bit. Yeah.
I will ignore some of the red flags thinking that I can deal with it.
Right.
Then after a while, I can't deal with it. So I'm the idiot that put this relationship in motion, whether it be dating or friendship or anything, right?
Well, so I think that is your self-preservation. So most people are saying 3 to 4 months, 5 months, you should know what that person is. Because you're empathetic, you're setting your own goals because you know what kind of person you are. And you know that you look past the red flags. Well, after 6 months, the red flags start coming out, and it's like, oh, wait, hold on. Okay, but then you have to figure out, okay, can I still move forward? Or do I want to pull back? And so that takes you a little more while because you're trying to be, I mean, overall, you're a good guy. You're trying to be understanding. And that's the gist of it. I think your 2 year is honestly a self-preservation.
It might be.
Because you know yourself. Your psychiatrist doesn't know you.
Yeah. And it ends up after a certain amount of time, those red flags become important like they weren't before. And then I go into Mr. Fix-It mode. I can fix them.
Right.
I can make, and that's where it just turns to shit in the hand. It
turns sour because technically you can't fix them if they don't want to be. And if they don't think there's anything wrong, yeah, you got a bigger problem.
Can't fix stupid.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. So, I wanted to share this one. Oh, okay. So here's the last 3 little notes. Okay. I did want to share these before we get too much further. And then we can move on. Some things I think of with you. Very affectionate, maybe include your love languages. The I am who I am communication is very important because I know who I am. Know what you want and go for it. That's pretty much sums me up. It's sort of like we talked about the when I make myself vulnerable, I tell someone how I feel. If I don't get that response back, most people pull back, and I'm the opposite. I double down. And so it can make me come off as a needy person, but that's just, it's my nature to double down on my emotions because I believe in them and I just know how I feel. Maybe I'm a little more in tune with my emotions than most people are because of Andrew or because of just who I am. I don't know which, but I am, So, she also thinks I should start off with what I'm looking for. She said, the don't waste my time comes off as harsh. You are a very thoughtful and sweet person, and that doesn't come across in your write-up.
Wow, that's interesting because I agree with her wholeheartedly.
She's learning things, right? So it's, yeah.
Well, you don't want to put anything negative in your profile.
No, you don't. But, sometimes you get frustrated with,
Because you'll see, I'll read a lady's profile and they'll say, if you're a smoker, don't bother, swiping on me because I don't deal with smokers. And I get it. I understand that. But I mean, you could just say, I'm not very fond of smoking.
Yes.
You don't have to be so harsh about it.
Yeah, you just say non-smoker. Just leave it at that. Yeah.
He's not a smoker.
Yeah.
And be polite about it. Yeah, when you're all like, just get out of my face because you're a smoker, and that's just not, nobody's going to want to do that. I actually saw a profile, and I'm switching gears. I saw a profile. A lady was on there, and she flat out started saying, I will cheat around on you. I will screw around on you. I will steal your money. I will do all your drugs. I will sleep with your family. If you don't like a woman like that, don't bother. I'm like, why in God's name did you even put a profile on here? And this woman is probably getting bombarded by men that think they can fix her. Blows me away.
But that's exactly it. They think they can fix her. She's getting all the attention, and it's exactly what she wants. She wanted the attention, and that profile got it for her.
Sure did. It must have.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
I know.
That's just...
I'm sorry, but I think you told us about that profile before. That one still cracks me up. I'm just like, really? Come on. I didn't think mine was that negative, but man, that one's crazy. So
That was crazy.
yeah, that one is crazy.
You know, I'm not bashful of asking women their opinions on that kind of stuff. And reading up, again, watching TikToks about setting up your online dating profile, you would not believe how many hundreds of thousands of people have a suggestion for you.
Oh yeah.
I went out and I searched online dating tips, and I only picked on the women because I wanted their opinion.
Right.
Right?
Right.
If I need a guy's opinion, I'm calling you first, and then all my other buddies, and going, "What the hell do you think I should do?" All the women had one word to say right off the bat: emotion.
Okay.
They don't want to know. Women don't want to know how much money you have, how many things you have, how successful you are or not successful. They want to know who you are and what kind of emotions do you bring to the table.
Right.
know?
Well, and see, that's where I think the podcast is beautiful for us.
Right? Because they can get to know who we are.
Right. I mean, Andrew's story is you want to get really emotional. Yeah, there you go. Let's just be honest. So, you know.
Even about all the other things, everything we talk about here is our opinion on some type of emotion with these online datings or the IT stuff and, all of it, every bit of it.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I hear a lot of times, a lot of people are like, you guys are so dead on about some of this stuff. They really like our point of view. And there's been some aha moments. Even for ourselves, we've had our own aha moments.
Yes.
I think the first aha moment for you was when we did the self-worth episode, and you were like,
yes.
I'm a 4 or 5. And you're like, now, you're like, I'm a 9, and when I said a 10, 9 or 10, you're just like, kind of like, what the hell?
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing that caught me about that is, how do you know that woman that you think's a 10 doesn't think you're a 10? That's where I went, what?
Yes. That's the aha moment.
Perspective change. That was the aha moment right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you know what? If you don't consider yourself a 9 or 10, why should she?
Absolutely.
Yep. So I do want to share with you, I've gotten a couple, we've gotten a couple of feedback. So, of course, we got an email that Nick was talking about. We're going to try to have this girl come on the show and talk about some of these dates that were in our blog. And so what was the name of her blog so we can share it with the crowd? It was...
I should have prepped for her. I don't know the name of her blog, but I do know that some of her stories absolutely blew ours away.
Oh, they were hilarious. But I'm sure most women could do that.
I just can't fathom how these guys come in and literally on the first time that they talk on the phone, he talks about how he's a cross-dresser.
Oh, yeah. That was not...
Nothing in his profile. They text for 2 or 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden they get on the phone, and he's into BDSM, and he's a cross-dresser.
Yes.
What the hell happened?
I know.
Did he take his medication and set up his profile and then quit taking? I mean, what happened?
I know. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, so by the way, it's refreshingly50.com is the name of the blog. So
yes,
go check.
You guys got to go read them.
Yeah. So this her name's Abigail. She sent Nick an email, and they corresponded a couple of times. We actually asked her to come on the show and tell some of the stories, but we're going to do that at the first of the year because it's too close to the holidays. We got a lot going on, family and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it was really funny reading some of these refreshingly 50 dating stories that, oh my gosh. I did the one, what is it? The Rise of the Little Helper. Or was it the drunk guy? Oh, yeah, the Mr. I'm Not an Alcoholic. That was the hilarious one. That one was great. I found that one hilarious. So, guys, if you want something funny to read and you don't want to listen to our podcast, go read these. These are actually pretty funny. I'll give this girl some credit.
Unbelievable credit. She can write.
Yeah.
She really can write.
Yeah.
Because the one that the Rise of the Little Helper, Oh my God, the way she wrote that. I was smiling and laughing through the entire thing
Yes.
because of the way she worded it and how she progressed through the stories. I think she would be amazing doing her own podcast.
Yeah.
So
So
coming on first, then doing her own.
yeah, exactly. We can't wait. We want her to come on ours, share some of the stories. Maybe we can get her to be a regular. I don't know. Maybe she'll get lucky and she'll find someone, and then she won't be a regular anymore. But it would be fun. So that was one. I will tell you, I got some feedback today from someone. Let's see. She checked out our podcast for the first time. Said she listened to the one that was 5 love languages. Of course, she said touch is very important. And, she said it was, where was this response?
It's funny how she said touch is very important. And everybody that I talk to either says words of affirmation or touch. I really haven't met but one person that their love language right off the bat is gift giving and acts of service. My ex-wife was acts of service.
Oh, yeah.
Go clean the kitchen, that's going to turn me on.
Yeah. That's funny. But no, she made...
I'm a master kitchen cleaner, just saying.
Yeah.
Married for 20 master kitchen cleaner.
Let's, whatever. You're so hilarious. You're killing me, dude.
Just saying, I'm trying to make time here because you're reading, and I'm ready for you to look up and go, okay, I got it.
I'm ready. So it's she did say, she found our podcast to be really funny. She enjoys them. She said, you guys are great together. The other big comment was, I listened to a few today and last night. I find you guys very easy to listen to and funny. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a new kind of compliment. I've had a lot of people say that we're authentic, that we're real. They enjoy that aspect of our show. But to hear someone say we're easy to listen to, okay. That's kind of an interesting one. I mean, that means that our stories are flowing. We do a good job, and it's not a lot of this. So I find that funny. You started off with the show, and I think we've said more this episode than any previous episode, just because you did it on purpose.
Yeah, because I said it.
You jinxed us, man. It's all your fault. I'm blaming you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, we're gonna say it, but when it overtakes the conversation, that's just when it's just bad.
I know. But I find it funny that I think, honestly, I've listened to myself say it a couple of times today, and I'm like, I've listened to our episodes, and I don't think we say it once sometimes on an entire episode. We really do. We articulate well, and we try to have fun.
We're not afraid to pause, even though this is all audio. We're not afraid to pause instead of replacing it with a sound.
Right. Well, and the pause gives people time to think, too, about what we've said, not just about us articulating. When you read a book, you don't read a book like every line flowing immediately. No, there's a period at certain points. There's, different things that, a comma, an exclamation mark. Those are all things that separate a story out. And that's all we're doing. People, I think, know and understand that. But yes, when you're in a meeting, people are like, I'm important, so you need to listen to me. Dude, really? You're not that important if you're having to say,
Especially when that's all I'm hearing,
I know, exactly. I'm sorry, that's really horrible. Being rude, but
I mean, the truth, and I'm sure I'm guilty at one point in time in a meeting where I was stumbling through it too, and it happens,
Right.
I've done presentations when I was going to college that I talk like that because I didn't go prepared like I should have.
Right.
Presentation wasn't all that great. I wasn't that interested in the subject that I was talking about. So of course you're going to fumble through it.
Oh, okay.
And that's when you're fumbling, that's when you throw in that I got to have noise here because it makes me uncomfortable when there's silence.
Or somebody else is going to jump in and take my thunder.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, so kind of circling back after you finished with some of your text messages talking about all that stuff. I have been dating somebody for a while now, and I've never been comfortable with somebody about the communication factor, and the emotions that I receive from her aren't extreme emotions. I mean, there's good emotions, there's bad emotions, but they're not like 100 times bad and 100 times good.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
Yeah. All right. I was about to say,
so
do you sure you want to talk about this on the podcast? Your current dating?
no, I absolutely talk about this because we've talked about it. She'll listen to the podcast. I mean,
Okay.
she's
Okay.
absolutely an extraordinary woman. Anybody that puts up with my shit for just a certain amount of time has got to be extraordinary in some aspect. This one's probably the most comfortable when it comes to communication because she can look at me and she can say how she feels.
Right.
And I take it as a corrective thing. I don't immediately get defensive and jump at her, and vice versa. I've felt uncomfortable about a few things and I talked to her about it and she's like, okay, we're going to work on this together. The minute she said that, just made our relationship that much stronger.
Yes. Yes. I agree.
Getting defensive, when somebody says, hey, I'm not getting enough of your time.
Right.
And then they go, well, man, my life is busy and I got all, and then they immediately get defensive and they go, I'm doing the best. That's not how that works. If I was to come to her and say, I'm not getting enough of your time, and she would respond, I will start working on that, or we will start working on that together. How can we do that as partners or as a team?
But
That's extraordinary
yeah,
to
but
do.
you made a key point there is you talk.
Yes.
The number one thing is talk. I mean, if you can't talk to each other, you're already in a losing battle. I don't care what anyone says. If you can't talk, that is your biggest problem right there.
Well, I had a very small issue one night and I didn't say anything. I just let it go. And then so the next morning, um, I went my way and she went hers, and she called me right after I left and she said, I know something's bothering you. I would really like to discuss it with you. I have time.
Right.
Whenever you're ready to sit down and talk about it.
Right.
And I responded with, I'm not ready. So while we were talking on the phone, maybe a minute or two later, I started discussing what was frustrating about it. And we talked it through. She understood where I felt. I understood how she felt, how the miscommunication got skewed or the communication got skewed. Like it's gonna happen on a daily basis.
100%.
Right?
Yes, I agree.
And then she said, will you work on one thing for me for the next couple days? And I said, what's that? She says, I want you to work on not holding in that frustration. When it happens, come to me right away. And I said, sometimes I might be frustrated and I want to come at you, like I'm angry or something. I want to take a breath. And she's like, I'm really bad about that too. I want to take a breath and calm down and then discuss
and talk
how I feel and then talk about
it. Yes.
She says, but please do your best. And I said, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. But I will agree with you. Both points are really great points. I think talking when you're still in the moment can lead to a yelling match because you're not going to listen to each other because you're still emotionally flared up,
Right.
And so I think your approach, I know she may not agree, but I think your approach was a good one because you needed to get away, you needed to clear your head, and then you could talk to her and she could, take it in without this, oh, I can't believe you did this. What the hell are you thinking? No. You're like, look, honey, this is what happened. This is how I feel. And that's a different tone, and that sets a better tone. You can actually communicate.
Right.
You know, when you come at her when you're angry, she's going to shut down or she can get right back in your face, and that's just going to get ugly.
That's way, and it's sad because we're conditioned to do that.
Yes.
If anybody, if the second we feel the slightest bit of being attacked, we're going to get in defense mode.
Right.
Well,
Right.
if you weren't such a, if you weren't such a bait,
Yeah.
like if it was, I'm not getting enough of your time. Well, then you just need to grow the fuck up, because this is the way the world is, and our lives are busy, and I'll give you time, but it's just not going to come as often as you want. And then you start feeling insecure and codependent and, clingy and needy. And,
Yeah.
that's when all that falls apart.
Yes. Yes. And generally when that happens, you have a tendency, your emotions will pull you away subconsciously. 100%, because you're like, this person is not meeting my needs. Has nothing to do with being needy, folks. Come on. Stop with that crap. It has everything to do with, does the person meet your needs? So every person is different.
You're not needy.
Yes.
If you're with the person that's giving you what you need, want, however you want to say that.
Yeah.
If getting in a relationship what you think a relationship should be, you won't be codependent. You won't be needy. You won't be overzealous. You won't get jealous. You won't,
You'll be co-independent instead of codependent.
Yes.
Yes. And that's very important. So,
yeah.
No, I like that story. That's a really good story. And it's a really important.
I love the communication. This woman is amazing. Yeah, she really is.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you're happy. So, you can
continue to put up with my shit. That poor girl's got a long haul ahead of her.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, listen to you. Come on now, man. We've been friends for 20 years. It ain't that bad.
I'm just teasing, because I know she's going to listen to the podcast, and she's going to be proud of the fact that we do. I really appreciate the way she handles herself, and it allows me to handle myself appropriately.
Yes.
And,
yeah, you don't feel codependent. You don't feel anything. You feel co-independent, and you both can work on the relationship together.
Well, we don't feel like we're threatening each other with.
Exactly.
That's not like that.
Yeah. That's why I said it's co-independent, because you're both still your own person, but you like to be together. And I think that's really a key. You are doing a pretty good job so far. So
far.
Kudos to you, man. So, hey, I take a little credit. I helped him with this therapy on the podcast. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Jay. Thanks, Doc.
Yeah, whatever. Where's my hourly rate, man? No, I'm just kidding.
I've been Venmoing. Who have I been Venmoing? Oh, wait, I wrapped it all up into Bitcoin, and I'm losing my shirt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. Trust me, I know. Holy crap. So,
it'll come back up. It'll come back.
It will come back. I know. It's funny as hell.
20 years from now, it might be up to $4.
Yeah, exactly. So
you bought it for $2.75? No, that's too long.
We keep messing with Dave, because we text him here and there about the Bitcoin stuff, and we give him a hard time, but we love Dave for coming on the show and talking about it. So
because October was supposed to be a big push.
Yes.
One particular Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, whatever. I don't know the.
Yeah.
Because literally when we were doing the first podcast, I was falling asleep.
I know.
It just doesn't interest me because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
He was talking. I need the book of dummies for Bitcoin or for
blockchain and cryptocurrency, and I know
he is so advanced in his explanations and the things he talked about. I was completely lost. So Dave's really brilliant with it. I mean, he knows that stuff upside down and backward. He just has to realize that we're 7-year-old kids that don't know anything.
I will tell you something really interesting, and this is for you too, Dave. I actually was at a data center 2 weeks ago. I had to go look at one of our servers in one of our racks. And this is a public data center, sort of like Cyrus One. where you rent a rack or rent a space. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah. So, and for those of you who don't know, there's these data centers around Houston. You essentially rent a server rack, and they provide all the power, and I mean you pay for it, but they provide redundancy and everything. So it literally makes sure all your equipment stays up all the time, even during hurricanes and everything. So it's really beautiful. So in the rack, one over from ours, there were 3 racks, and they were literally filled to the gills for crypto mining.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking video card by video card by video card. And when I say the amount of heat coming off of these racks, I'm surprised the AC was keeping up, because it was hot as hell. It was really crazy. So it was really cool to see, but it was really crazy. So, because, we had talked about that, and yeah, just to see, they're renting public space now because they just have too much equipment for their crypto mining. So.
See, I talked to somebody that knew somebody that was crypto mining, and they have a small little place outside of Austin. It's a 1,000-acre ranch.
Okay.
And they do their crypto mining out of that, and they're just filthy.
Yeah.
They're filthy rich.
Good for them.
Yeah.
So, well, folks, I don't have anything else. I think we've shared a lot. We've all had some growth. I've had a lot of growth lately. Yes, I'm back single. I am back to trying to date again. I was a little sad this weekend. I guess just I'm emotional. Andrew did that to me. Maybe I may have been emotional before Andrew. Andrew brought it out more hardcore. Right. And so, but when you break up with someone, it takes its toll. Right. And so, but I visited Andrew, and I know this sounds crazy, but it really does put things into perspective. And so everybody needs to find that one thing that kind of I don't know, brings you back to reality.
Yep.
So but
definitely does.
I still don't want to be around people. Well, some people. I like
Skype it. That count?
Yeah, no, I still like being around you, man. We're all good. I don't know. You know what I mean, though. It's the holidays, and honestly, the other part of seeing Andrew is it did make me sad, that I'm not going to have Andrew around for the holidays, and so it's just kind of, yeah, it did put life into perspective, because I really do. Life's too short. I can't just sitting around being sad about someone who wasn't ready to be in a relationship with me. I need to move on and be with someone who is.
There you go.
And I know that sounds harsh, but it's tough. It really is. When you have to go through those types of situations.
And everybody's gone through it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just tough. It's just not something you can just go, oh well, toss it over your shoulder. Some people in this world can.
Yeah, we're not those people.
Most people, yeah, we're definitely not those people.
Remember what we said? We'll never get ahead because we have a heart.
That's right.
And we were mainly talking about, workplace type stuff, but,
because they say all CEOs and CIOs, all these multimillionaire people, they're all sociopaths.
Yeah.
All narcissists, and they wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire, but now they're worth millions. I mean, however that,
Yeah, I know.
I have to spit on somebody. I don't even if I don't like them.
Yeah, I know.
I can name a handful of people right now that I would say I wouldn't spit on if they were on fire, but if they were really on fire, I would, and then remind them several times that I just saved their life. Just saying, don't like me, but I just saved your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's just. It's our nature. I ain't going to say it's human nature, because human nature contradicts you all the time. Our nature is if somebody needs help, we have a tendency just to help, but it's, it becomes part of who we are. So
that's the way it works.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's kind of crazy random talk session. I hope the fans really enjoyed it, because this was just kind of a fly session, you know. It was before Christmas, just to kind of give you what's going on in our lives, you know. Not every episode has to be about a certain topic. It can just be about us.
That's right.
You know. And as my friend said, he'll know, he listens to the podcast, I am my own favorite topic.
It wasn't me, by the way.
I am not that way, but I just thought it was funny. I actually have a friend who said that. You know, it was, when I heard that, I was like, that was hilarious. So
That was creepy.
Whatever, that's not creepy. Come on.
We like giving him a hard time.
Yeah, there you go. So, well, folks, you know, of course, like, follow. You know, we hope you enjoy the show. We enjoy bringing it to you.
Yes, we do.
We do. And, you know, so I don't have anything else. Do you, man?
Just send us an email if you got questions.
Yeah, be like the
I will respond.
Yes.
Abigail sent an email and she's like, I'm surprised you responded. She wasn't expecting a response. We will respond to your email.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, yep. we want to hear from you guys. So, you know, especially California folks. Come on now. Come on, send us an email,
Just
folks.
Say hi.
Yeah.
Just say hi.
Just say hello. We won't mention you on the show if you don't want to.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just say somebody from California came, emailed us. So, you know.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll be nice. So, other than that, I don't have anything else. Oh, by the way, we're in development. I haven't told Nick this yet.
What? You're not supposed to surprise me on the podcast.
I know. Here you go. Our audio engineer is actually going to write us a theme song.
Nice.
He really is. So nice. One of his latest classes, of course, he's in college, you know, full time. But one of his latest classes, he had to write a little kind of a snippet, like a 25, 30-second song to be part of his portfolio. And he had to get graded from the class on this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Guess what he made?
What?
It was either 98 or 100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, he did a really good job.
What kind of music was it? I was
okay. Well, what kind of music? Yeah. No, the kind of music. It was a really nice kind of upbeat. Not a dubstep, but maybe a little like dubstep. Got a really great beat to it. So.
Oh wow. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. So he's over the holidays. I haven't told him. He's going to find out tonight that I'm actually going to pay him to do it.
Nice.
Yes. So
hell, I'll figure out how to do it. Will you pay me?
Whatever.
Here's your soundbite.
Yeah. So
wait,
that's a better one. By the way, we did have someone come out too, and I forgot to mention this before we hang up, before we do everything. And make sure you, come on, guys, follow, email, you know, listen to the podcast. But we actually had someone who came on and actually wanted us to have a, what do they call it? Not a logo, but a mascot.
Mascot?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one. Didn't think about that either.
Yeah. So he already told me what our mascot needed to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I know that everybody keeps arguing me about your picture on JayTalk. They want to change it up. That way they want to put the mascot on the...
Oh, no. We can't put the mascot up there. Yeah. So, no.
It's that bad?
It's a pickled thumb with a face.
Oh, my God. Yes, we can't put that on the logo.
It was literally, you know, take a pickle, and put a thumbnail at the top, draw out a face. There you go. There's our mascot.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was hilarious. I had to bring it up. I mean, it was great, dude. Come on, yeah, it was great. It was really hilarious. So, you know, he listens to the show, so I know he's gonna be laughing his butt off for it right now. Oh my God. Yeah, there, the Pickled Thumb's our mascot. Yeah, there you go. So, if we ever do a live show, we have to have a Pickled Thumb out there in an outfit. That would just be a little awkward, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so Nick never knew that his story was going to go global. So, anyway, well, I don't have anything else, man. It was great today. Love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
Love you, fans. So,
yep.
Y'all
talk to you.
Yep. Talk to you later. Peace out.